So, Mr. Tim Waterstone, how far has the power of literature to provide alternative ideologies been diminished by the commodification of art, or has it?
And I think literature is in wonderful shape, actually, particularly in this country where we publish. The book market here is a third as big as the American market, and yet we publish 5 times as many books. I mean, one reads too much about the decline of the power of literature. I don't think it's ever been stronger, really. We now have access to the buying of books, not only through physical bookshops, but wonderfully online. Access to books is everywhere. Books are very cheap. There's some wonderful writing going on. Literature is untouched. I think publishing is pretty well untouched as well, because there's a sort of vision about publishers being driven only by publishing profitable books. The truth of it is that nobody knows what the profitable book's going to be. Nobody. For every publisher, you publish 9 losers in financial sense against one financially successful book. So you don't know which one that is. Otherwise, we'd all be billionaires many times over. But there's a wonderful balance that goes on, I think, and also I think the great joy is that, I founded Waterstone almost 30 years ago, in 1982, and you couldn't pick up a newspaper in those days without being told that the book was finished. By the time we got to the end of the 20th century, books were gone. There'd been no more print on paper, the book was an old product. I mean, nothing could prove to be further from the truth, as I knew it was going to be. Book market grown and grown and grown and grown, and despite the inroads of internet, despite the inroads of television, despite the inroads of movie going, the book goes on and on and on, and increasingly successfully. And it's an extraordinary story, and none of us completely know why. But anyway, it's there, and the book is enormously powerful.
That would be news. That's right. Very, very good news. Well, now, the word entrepreneur. Can you ever see a time when the word entrepreneur could be seen as a term of abuse?
A term of abuse, it sort of is seen as a term of abuse now, I think. I mean, I don't like being seen as an entrepreneur. I think what my happiness of my working life has been the fact that I like to provide visions for people. I like to provide strong vision, of romantic vision of where the company can go, where the people can go within the company, so that people love working there. They have a clear sense of what the business is doing, what the business is trying to do, and it is worthwhile and it's doing great. Entrepreneur is a funny sort of term, and it gets very mixed around, and people like me are perhaps good with money, or good raising money, or good understanding money, but at the same time we're driven not by a desire to become enormously rich. That either comes or doesn't come. The real desire of the true entrepreneur is to win, and the win is not the accumulation of great personal wealth. The win is your dream, your intuitive dream, your vision, winning, being proved to be true. And the people you put around with you to build that vision all enjoy the same victory as you do. An entrepreneur at its worst is somebody who's only interested in making money. But the truth of it is, if you set out in life only with the intention of making money, you have a very strong chance of making a complete idiot of yourself. And I've seen it happen time and time and time again.
Can be seen as opportunism, for instance.
Exactly.
Okay. Are we seeing the end of history, or is it just actually the end of capitalism?
I don't think we are seeing the end of capitalism. We're seeing the end of the historical concept of capitalism. But as the world becomes richer, people are going to want to buy, people are going to want to sell. There's got to be a mechanism for policing that, a mechanism for making it financially viable. Capitalism is not dead, but capitalism is going to change shape enormously fast. I mean, I think we operate still the rules of public company capitalism here in a way which is telling the most grotesque lie. I mean, it's actually a lottery for people. It's actually a form of gambling. And when you look at the share register of our biggest FTSE 100 companies here, which have a churn on the share register of over 90% typically in the company. There's people just buying and selling the shares. So only 10% of the people on the share register were there at the beginning of the year. there's a sort of nonsense about it. You know, capitalism is no longer about the provision of capital, about the provision of labour, about the provision of resources. It's grown into something completely different. But, you know, the process of people investing money, building businesses, employing people, buying, selling, is in rude good health. So there's no death of capitalism. What we're seeing is a death of the beginning of capitalism, if you like. And the 21st century will see a different form of capitalism emerge, but it's going to be a very vibrant century.
Thank you very much.